Hello, you're tuned into daily coronavirus updates. This is The Wire and today is the 16th of April. 12,380 people have been infected by the novel coronavirus in India so far. 414 people have died and 1,499 have been cured or discharged. Of the total 414 deaths, Maharashtra reported 187 fatalities. It has been almost 6 months since the first COVID-19 patient was reported from China. Since then, the virus has spread rapidly across the world and has driven scientists, researchers, doctors, and global world leaders to understand the disease better and has piqued the non-expert people's curiosity about the disease too. While there is a good deal of information available on the internet, in this episode of Coronavirus Daily Updates, we decided to explain certain terms and concepts useful for understanding what's happening in India with regard to the coronavirus. The coronavirus disease or COVID-19 is caused by severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2 or SARS-CoV-2. The name of the virus and the disease it causes often have different names, like HIV is the virus that causes AIDS. In this case, coronavirus disease or COVID-19 is caused by SARS-CoV-2. The spread of the coronavirus can be controlled by 1. Staying at home, which means following strict physical distancing rules that can break the chain of transmission, or 2. A potential vaccine that could protect a large number of people, or 3. By developing herd immunity. As countries have adopted physical distancing norm for now, the world economy has nearly completely collapsed and we may still be a year away from a functional vaccine. In this scenario, the Prime Ministers of the United Kingdom and the Netherlands, along with some other scientists and researchers from across the world, have spoken about something called herd immunity. A leading epidemiologist in India, Dr. Jayaprakash Mulayal, said in an interview to The Wire that herd immunity could be the only option left to tackle the coronavirus in India. When a country lets the virus spread itself to an extent where eventually so many people will be infected that they become immune to the outbreak and the virus fizzles out because there is no one left to spread to. The immunity from the virus the population acquires at this stage is called herd immunity. There are a large number of people on both sides of the debate on whether this will actually work or not. Researchers who conducted a Brazilian study in 2017 speculated that the Zika virus outbreak in Salvador, a city in Brazil, was broken by herd immunity. But for herd immunity to actually take hold, people must become immune to the virus after the first infection. A report published in the MIT Technology Review says that it is likely that those who have recovered from the coronavirus are now resistant to it. But we don't have any studies to confirm if this is true. Moreover, Myron Levine, an infectious disease expert from the University of Maryland, quoted by the MIT Technology Review, says that immunity against seasonal viruses can never be complete. She said that she wouldn't be totally surprised if people didn't actually become immune to the coronavirus. In February, reports emerged from Japan that a woman had tested positive for the virus a second time. According to newscientist.com, anecdotal cases of patients tested positive for COVID-19 twice have emerged in China too. The PCR test is used to check whether genetic material belonging to the new coronavirus is present in a sample of cells collected from a person's upper respiratory tract. Like humans' genetic material is DNA, the new coronavirus's genetic material is the RNA, and this is what the PCR test looks for. PCR stands for polymerase chain reaction. It's an expensive and time-consuming procedure, but it is also one of the more reliable testing techniques used to detect the presence of the virus. On the 5th of April, India's top medical research body, the ICMR, approved antibody-based tests for COVID-19 in India. Reportedly, today morning, the Indian government received their first batch of antibody test kits from China. Indian Health Ministry officials say that antibody tests are more suited to test a large number of people than PCR tests. The antibody-based test looks for antibodies in the blood that the body's immune system would have released in response to the virus's presence. If antibodies against the virus are indeed present in the blood, the person could have the virus. I say could and not definitely because antibodies against an infection are known to be present in the blood even after the body has defeated an infection. On Monday, on the 13th of April, the ICMR recommended laboratories in India to conduct pool testing in a move that will help India scale up its testing volume. In a pooled testing system, samples from multiple people are mixed together in a tube and tested using the PCR test. If the pool tests positive, then it means at least one individual in the pool has the virus. So then individual samples are tested. But if the mixed sample tests negative, it will mean that all individual samples tested negative. According to an article published by Atanu Biswas on the Wire Science, a simple calculation suggests that if India wants to test 100 individuals using pooled testing, then 38.4 kits can be used by saving 61.6 kits in the process. To learn more about this, you can read this article on the Wire Science. In an attempt to look for a cure, an explanatory study published in The Lancet on February 27th made a case for convalescent plasma therapy as a potential way to treat COVID-19. On the 15th of April, ICMR invited proposals from health institutions and hospitals around India to undertake controlled trials for convalescent plasma therapy and for plasma exchange therapy. Plasma is the fluid in our bodies that contains the blood cells. In convalescent plasma therapy, plasma from the bodies of people who have recovered from COVID-19 will be injected into bodies of those who are currently ill with COVID-19. This will be done so that antibodies generated in the bloodstream of those who have recovered will help fight the virus. On the other hand, plasma exchange therapy includes removal of plasma from a sick patient and replacing it with plasma from a healthy donor. The ICMR has made it clear that it does not recommend plasma therapies as treatment outside of clinical trial settings. According to the Lancet study, plasma therapies have been used before in attempts to cure patients during the 2009 H1N1 pandemic. It said that there was a reduction in the relative risk of mortality for patients treated with convalescent plasma. That's all for today. Keep reading and watching The Wire and The Wire Science. We will see you tomorrow. Until then, stay safe.